Good morning, students. So, we are going to start new chapter, chapter 9. After the 8th chapter, we are doing this. As I told you earlier, that we will do the theoretical chapters first before our regular classes. So, the name of the chapter is Crop Production and its Management. Right? First of all, I would like to throw light on the main contents of this chapter, what we will do in this chapter actually. Crop production and its management. In introduction part, autotrophs, heterotrophs, reference little bit is given there. You know very well what are autotrophs, which can prepare their own food. They are called plants, they are producers, right? They occupy first place in the food chain. Then heterotrophs means, as the name indicate, hetero means other, which depend on the others for getting energy, for obtaining food. They do not prepare their own food. They are called the heterotrophs. Then little bit historical content is given there, like how man started his life, as you know, and you learned in the history portion of social science also, how early man started his life, how he became stable from a dweller, means earlier man is moving here and there in the forest for searching food and shelter, but later on by settlements near the water bodies. He started settlements near the water bodies and started growing the crops, started domesticating the crops and domesticating the animals. Then he became a settled person. So then he know about the various methods of the crop production, about the various strategies, various the systematical manners for producing the crops. So, what is actually crop production and its management means? Crop production simply means growing the crops for producing yields on large scale, so that demand of people can be fulfilled. Now you know that India is a populous country, and how population is increasing tremendously, as India and China are the leading countries. So, to fulfill the demand of people, to fulfill the demand of food for all the people, it is important to know about the various crop production methods. Why crop production? Same answer, that to fulfill the demand of people. What demand? Means to fulfill their food requirement. We should know the various methods for producing the crops. Various management practices we should know how we can produce crops in greater yield. Agricultural practices. What are agricultural practices? Agricultural practices means simply, we can say that the farmers nowadays, they are very scientific. Means they know how to sustain, how to provide the regular supply of food to people, how they can maintain their crops, how they can prevent their crops from the attack by various types of pests, various types of insects, various types of diseases. They know how to use the fertilizers, when to use the fertilizers, how much to use the fertilizers, right? So that they can get the better yield in a small patch of field, right? Means earlier people were growing the crops on the large patches of the land, but yield was very less because the farmers were not very scientific. They were not knowing the methods, they were not knowing the agricultural practices. Nowadays, means the yield which we can obtain from this patch of field without any scientific methods, without agricultural practices, same yield we can get in the half of this portion by adopting various agricultural practices. Here comes the use of fertilizers, here come the use of pesticides, insecticides, all the means, right? Then you will also learn here about the kharif crops and rabi crops. You know about these crops also very well. On the basis of the seasons, they are divided into two categories: maize, wheat, all these come in these categories. Particular season they are grown, and particular months are mentioned here, right? I will come later here. So as a whole, in this chapter, various agricultural practices we will discuss here. What practices? In detail we will do the reading: preparation of soil, sowing of seeds, addition of manures and fertilizers, irrigation, crop protection, harvesting, storage. This is the main content of the chapter, which where we will lay the emphasis for the learning, right? You should know all these agricultural practices in detail. So we will do the reading, and one by one you will came to know how we can do all this. Last topic is given in the chapter, that is crop improvement. Crop improvement means the same, how we can improve the yield of the crops and how we can improve the quality of crops, right? Because our main objective of crop production is increase the yield within a small piece of land and get the quality food, quality crops. Quality crops means the crops which are having proper nutritional contents. All the nutrients should be there. They should not be nutrient deficient, so that they can be consumed by the humans, right? And in this topic you will also learn here the green revolution, very important topic. You might be knowing about this, as this revolution, it was in the 1960s, right? So in detail I will, while doing the reading, I will discuss with you in detail about the green revolution. So this is all about this chapter, contents of this chapter. Now let me start the reading. Here one by one I will take the topics also, right? So crop production and its management is the name of the chapter. Let me start the reading. All organisms require food for their growth and sustenance. You know, all the organisms, they are dependent on the food for their growth, for their survival, for their life. Plants are called autotrophs, I told you, because by the process of photosynthesis they can prepare their own food. Auto means own. Rest, others, means in a food chain they are called the heterotrophs, because they are dependent on autotrophs for their survival, for their food. They are dependent on plants for their food. So to fulfill the demand of food, here historical content is given here. To fulfill the demand of food, prehistoric man means the early man, used to gather food from forest. You know that the early man was totally dependent on the forest. Later he started settling at places close to water resources. Same thing I discussed with you earlier, that they started their settlements near the water places. Around 10,000 years ago, man discovered that by planting seeds, he could grow plants that gave him food. About this much time ago, 10,000 years ago, man came to know that how plants can be beneficial for him. Plants can fulfill the demands of people. So, early man then started the growing plants, domesticating the plants, right? So, from a food gatherer, man became a food producer. Means in the very beginning, he only gathered the food from the forest, not growing by own self. But later, when he started settled life, then he started producing food at home by the plants, by planting the crops. This activity gradually means slowly. This action of the man gradually, slowly became more and more systematic. Means when he started growing the crops, then slowly he learned so many strategies. He learned so many tactics. He became systematic. He came to know how he can cultivate crops, right? How he can grow the crops on a large scale. The cultivation of one type of plants on large scale underline this line, the cultivation of one type of plants on large scale is called crop production, right? Understand the concept, don't do the cramming that I have said, the underline this line, so you will learn this line only, right? Learn the concept as a whole, means this is the, you can say, the concrete definition of the crop production. The practice of cultivating land for growing crops is called known as the agriculture. So what is agriculture? Means the use of land for cultivating the crops. Particular, when we use the land for the growing crops, that is called the agriculture. Now, after the agriculture, man also started domesticating animals. At the same time, man also started domesticating animals for his food and other requirements. You know that animals which we means the domesticate at home, they are herbivores, they depend on the agriculture, means they depend on the plants directly, right? So man came to know how he can solve the dual purpose. He can get food from the plants and he can use the animals for his welfare also. Agriculture is not only growing food for people and animals, but also growing plants to other requirements like fiber, medicines, flowers and ornamental plants. Means this is not only the purpose of growing plants for getting the food, right? Means crop production means not only growing the food producing crops, means also growing plants which are for the other purposes, like that they give us fibers, medicines, flowers, ornamental plants which we use for the decoration purpose, we grow at home, like they give us the aesthetic sense, ornamental plants. So next one is the food from the plant. Next topic is food from plants. Over a period of time, human population on earth has increased many folds. You know, India, China, both are the leading populous countries. So population increased suddenly. Consequently, the demand for food grains has also increased. Over 80% of the human diet is provided by seeds or less than a dozen plant species like wheat, rice, maize. So means these are the chief crops which are giving food to the which are forming the 80% human diet. In order to maintain a steady supply of food, farmers undertake several systematic activities. Means here the farmers became now the scientific. They started using various activities for getting the more and more yields spread over a period of time for growing crops. These activities are called the agricultural practices, right? So what are agricultural practices? Practices adopted by the farmers for growing the crops in a systematical way for getting more yield, for getting the disease resistant plants, means to we can say the obtain the crops from a small piece of land in maximum yield, right? Then agricultural practices. Agricultural practices I discussed with you what are. Here is given the about the information about the Rabi and Kharif crops, particular seasons. Ever since man started growing crops, agricultural practices have undergone lot of changes. Day by day, new and new changes are coming by the science. You know, the science and technology. Day by day, new and new techniques are developing. New and new discoveries are made, which we are just implementing in these agricultural practices. Now this sector, means the agriculture sector, has become more organized and agricultural practices are carried out in a scientific and systematical manner. Farmers know that for healthy growth and increased output, farmers clearly know crops require balanced supply of water. They know the importance of water for the plants, fertilizers as well as protection against the diseases and pests. Means the farmers nowadays are very aware about the complete growth development of the plant. What is the requirement of the plants? What is the requirement of the plant? Particularly, plants require water, they require fertilizers, they require protection against the attack by the various microorganisms. So after harvesting, still job is not over. After harvesting, proper storage of crops is also essential. You know, when farmers store their crops, their grains, then they may get attacked by various types of microorganisms during the storage period. This will also lead to the loss. So farmers also, they should know about the storage methods. We will discuss later here about in detail. Different crops have different requirements for their proper growth. You know very well, as they grow in the different seasons. Based on the season in which they grow, crops are categorized as, means on the basis of season we have categorized the crops as a whole in two categories, one kharif crops and second one is the rabi crops. Paddy, maize, they come under this group, and they're grown during the months June to October. Means from the examination point of view, where you have to lay the emphasis, means on these examples and on the season, in which season they are grown, rabi crops. Although so many other are also here, but at least you should know two examples. These are dependent on western monsoon. Wheat, gram, barley are the main rabi crops which are grown during the months November to April. Again, examples, and this duration is very, very important. These are not dependent on monsoons, right? So kharif crops are totally dependent on monsoons, and rabi crops are independent on the monsoons. Wheat, gram, all these will come under the rabi crops. Maize, paddy will come under the kharif crops. And the kharif crops are grown during the months June to October, and rabi crops are grown during the November to April. So this is about the agricultural practices, means here only this is given reference the rabi crops and the kharif crops. Next, here is given kharif and rabi crops also given here in the tabulated form. For the better learning, you have to learn this. This is given in a systematical way: season and then time period, then examples. Season, time period and examples. Kharif crops and rabi crops. In this tabulated form, you can learn easily. The various agricultural practices required for growing crops are, I discussed with you that in this chapter we will discuss about all these in detail. You will learn about all these in detail. First one is the preparation of soil, sowing of seeds, addition of manures, irrigation supply means of water, crop protection, harvesting, storage. Right? So, first one is the preparation of the soil. You know what we need. First of all, before sowing any crop, before starting our agriculture, first foremost thing is to prepare the soil. Preparation of the soil. How it is done, we learn here. We know that plants grow in soil. Plant not only anchor themselves, anchor means rooting them, means they get attached. Anchor them means they not only anchor themselves in the soil, means they will not only attach, we can say, or develop roots in the soil, but also get water and minerals from it. Means plants not only attach them with the soil, but purpose of that anchoring, purpose of that attachment with the soil is to absorb water and minerals with the help of the roots. You have already learned that soil is made up of small particles of different sizes. In 7th class, I think you have learned about the soil profile. There is given the about different sizes, what we call them, the gravel, this, that, where is the humus layer, different horizons in the soil profile are given. So if you remember, then it's okay. Otherwise, you should go to the book of 7th class again for concept clarity, and contains minerals, water, air, and remains of dead plants and animals. Right? All these things means what is the composition of all in the different types of the soil horizons, you should know. The microorganisms present in the soil decompose dead organisms and release nutrients present in their bodies to the soil. The soil become nutrient enriched by the activity of a group of microorganisms which we call the decomposers. As they decompose, they feed on the dead decaying organic matter. Right, although soil is a very good medium for the germination and growth of seeds. No doubt, soil is very good medium for the growth of the seeds. Soil contains all the essential nutrients. It has to be prepared for growing a crop. All the soil is containing everything, all the essential nutrients. But still, preparation of soil is foremost thing which is done before sowing any crop. Right, means it should be loosened first of all. Proper if it is nutrient deficient, then proper fertilizer should be mixed there in the soil. We can use manures and all this with this. It preparation of the soil involves loosening and turning. Right, this process is known as plowing or tilling. Means loosening and moving of soil is called plowing or tilling. It is done, you should know all these terms, very specific terms are given here, you should know this. Then after this, it is done by using wooden or iron plow, which is pulled either by oxen or by a tractor. Means this purpose, loosening and moving of soil particles, it can be done with the help of machines, with the help of a tractor, or manually by the wooden iron plow by using oxen. Plowing has following advantages. Why we do plowing? You should know clearly why plowing is essential. Why we should do plowing first of all before sowing any crop. First of all, it improves air circulation. If soil is compact, no pores are there, we should make the soil porous first of all, so that air can penetrate in the soil particles, so that roots can respire easily. Respiration means a process where oxygen is used in the body for sustaining metabolic activities. Right? Roots, by respiration, plants also need oxygen for the survival, as we all need. So they also need the air. Roots can penetrate deeper into the soil. Penetrate means go deep into the soil. Thus hold the plant firmly. Firmly means strongly. Roots will if the soil is compact, if soil is just like cement, how roots will find the way to move down? So it is important to loose the soil so that they can go down easily